Yes, I have pinned the timer. Led by the chief, sporting the bravery of a war front, reminiscing their heritage and revoking their tribes, pride, strength and unity. The New Zealand rugby team, better known as the All Blacks, lay an intense Haka, intense challenge for their adversaries with the bone-chilling Haka war dance. Atenete tanata puhu wagarititi wakatitite upa ka upa upane kupane vititera. Mesmerized and glued to the television screen, just like you are staring at me right now. I could not take my eyes off for one bit. It was my first introduction to rugby, the sport I was about to bond intimately for the remainder of my life. Distinguished contest Toastmaster, respected judges and my dear fellow Toastmasters. Let me ask you, how many times in life have we come across instances where we look back and thought if we had worked a tad harder, we could have achieved a greater result? Well, the New Zealand All Blacks rugby team, 3 times world champions and the best team of the past decade, has adopted a performance-driven culture that was founded on 3 pillars: pride, strength and unity. Even to this day, their consistency to remain atop teaches us many invaluable lessons in our lives. Let me take you on a personal journey. Are you game for a bit of rugby? Well, since the day I started rugby, it became my passion. I loved the passes, the side-stepping, the dummying, the kicks. It was very physical, yet very strategic. So coming off a highly competitive schools rugby circuit, I used to lay a very casual attitude. I used to play a very casual attitude during the university rugby first year. It led us to a humiliating defeat in front of thousands of spectators in attendance that day. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but a deserving wake-up call for us. We knew that if we had worked hard, we could have achieved a better result. Based on our disdainted memories and determined to emerge as champions the next year, we commenced the pre-season with a plan. We recruited one of the best coaches of the country. Day in and day out, we exerted our best efforts. Bound as one, for months in unison. We strategized, devised tactical plans and grew from strength to strength as we approached the tournament. In the first round of matches, we decimated our opponents 90-0 and continued our path to glory, overcoming all obstacles along the way. The semi-final had fallen against a tougher opponent, but we played hard and played well as a team and were about to conclude on a winning note. Just few moves before the final whistle, I faintly remember tackling a well-built guy over 6'4", 240 pounds. A loud gong went off in between my ears and an excruciating pain from my shoulder. Immediately, I realized that I had completely dislocated my shoulder. I cried, not of the physical pain, but from the pain that was caused in my heart. All year, I had exerted my blood, sweat and tears with one dream in my mind, and that was to play for the final, which was scheduled 7 days later. Usually such injuries takes 4 to 6 weeks to recover. The dream of a final was becoming more and more distant. But I refused to back down from that challenge without a fight. Although I had lost my balance completely, I refused to let my dream die down. I practiced hard, giving every ounce of energy that I had. 7 days later, I showed up to the game, the grand finals, feeding off the energy my entire team had placed on me. I entered the game with loads of emotions ready to be unleashed. I played well and I played my heart out, arguably the best game of my life. My performance was so instrumental to the team that it led us to the victory and to be crowned as the undisputed inter-university rugby champions of that year. My dear fellow Toastmasters, the All Blacks Haka epitomizes 3 key characteristics: pride, strength, and unity. It is the pride of our hard work that we put in that enabled us to attain this victory. It is the strength of our collective effort and belief in one another that helped us achieve this goal. Finally, it is the unity. Since day one, we stood shoulder to shoulder, bound as one, picking ourselves when we fall, with one collective goal in our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear fellow Toastmasters, look around us. Many people have been so less fortunate to have lost their livelihoods, their health, their loved ones during this horrendous pandemic. Being the fortunate ones who are here today, let us all rise from the brinks of defeat and turn around our lives by believing in one another. Life is like this rugby ball, not so well rounded, and the rebounces are hard to predict. In life, you may come across challenges in your personal life, in your professional life, or for that matter in a social setting that may look impossible to overcome. In such instances, if you have put in your genuine efforts, take pride of your hard work, draw strength and channel it through, and face them in unison. The happiness and joy that you achieve in life from such achievements are unmatchable. They are addictive, they are vindicative, and they are rewarding. Over to you, Contest Toastmaster.